Second for it to load. Hope everybody is well. This is kind of an exciting time right now. I'm Tara Bassett. Oh, wait a minute. This is so funny. I'm seeing myself and hearing myself.
Okay. Do you have two things going again?
No, I just turned off my own sound.
Okay.
Can you see yourself?
I can see myself.
I love it. This is too funny. Because it's like, this is the first time I've actually Zoomed a live stream from Facebook, from Zoom to Facebook. I usually use an intermediary third party, so I'm not always watching myself and listening to myself out of sync, which is funny, but I mean, obviously we're live, which is great. This is Mollie Junker, AKA Mollie Lama, and her organization is called Body Intuitive, which is really cute. And she reached out to me because she knows I've got COVID for the either second or third time, depending on whether or not that last year was a false positive or whether it was the real thing. And she just had some thoughts and suggestions that she wanted to offer me. And I said, well, let's just do a live stream because everybody's dealing with this stuff. Everybody's got COVID. Everybody's having problems. Let's just go ahead and talk through exactly what it is that you want to talk through and do it live on camera. So real quick, Mollie, introduce yourself, and I'm going to grab some headphones so I can hear myself on camera. Okay.
Okay, perfect. Hi, everybody. My name's Mollie Junker, and just to correct her, the organization that I'm studying with is called bodyintuitive.org.
Gotcha.
But my current website is still bodytalkworks.net, but I'm switching eventually over to mollielama.com. A client gave me that nickname. A client gave me that nickname. I mean, how good is that? Because I do more than one thing.
Yes.
I just decided the Body Talk Works is too limiting.
Yeah.
So eventually it's going to switch over. But in the meantime, Facebook, Mollie Lama.
I like that. That's really cute. So why did you reach out to me?
Not that many people know about me or what I offer. And I saw you just the other day and I thought, oh man, here's another person dealing that doesn't have access to some of many things that I can offer. And my intention was to offer you some sessions so you could have the experience and then you could talk about it because it's literally a custom experience. I saw your video the other day, not your video, the one, the health department.
Yes.
And the woman used individual medicine. This is individual medicine like nobody's business. And you could come in with COVID, you could come in, you're having stress. The mental and emotional health is just off the charts, right?
Yes, yes,
and
it is.
how can I support people in doing that? And for everybody, every session is custom. And I never know who's going to get what experience, who's going to come through what fast or a little slower. And so it's never about it's what's available and who's ready for it.
Oh, and it sounds like, I mean, that sounds great. It really does. And I'm ready for anything because I tell you, having had the 10-day quarantine in January, followed by this 5-day quarantine, which is going to be over on Saturday. You're absolutely right about the mental emotional components of this. And I asked that question a couple of weeks ago when I was on a health department presser. I asked if antidepressants and therapy were going to be considered a standard treatment for long haulers, for people who are dealing with it. And they said, absolutely, absolutely, because the components of the mental and emotional health are often ignored in physical medicine. And so many people who are dealing with long-term anything are suffering up here as much as they are anyplace else in their body. And it's often ignored, which is very scary. So yeah, I mean, those are really important things. And having lived through and survived a life-threatening depression, 10 years ago, 8 years ago, I guess, I don't want to go back there. I do not want to go back there. I can deal with any physical injury, but when you lose your mind, you literally have lost everything.
Wow. I'm so sorry you had to go through that.
Thank you.
I'm hearing more and more people are experiencing that.
Yes.
So what I want to do is just talk a little bit. And then again, I like having experiences. So I wanted to offer one of the elemental resets.
Yes.
Like I'm doing this. So in the Body Intuitive organization, I'm in the second ever year-long mastery program. So I tend to be the second. I took the second ever course they offered in January 2019. Before that, I was studying something called Body Talk, and I call this the daughter or the next generation. The instructors, the founders, one is Dr. Janet Galipo. She's a doctor of Chinese medicine. So she brings all the Eastern philosophy and stuff. And then the other is Dr. Janet Galipo, Laura Stuve. She is a PhD. She was at Stanford working on the Human Genome Project, and she is teaching us how to work at the epigenetic level. We just did a 5-day intensive in this year-long program, learning about the immune system, and then additionally how to work with people with COVID, before, during, long haulers, all that. And one of the key things they said is every time you work with somebody who's had COVID, you always intuitively, everything's an intuitive scan, check in if there's any COVID virus left in their body, because it can be for a while, like you might be experiencing.
Yeah,
So,
they called it viral remnants.
So we're, as an intuitive scan, that's what I would be doing every time until it's gone.
That's an amazing thing. And I'm happy to be your guinea pig. You can go ahead and do or say whatever you need to do, and I'll just be the person to accept that and let people see how it works. I mean,
Well,
it can't do anything but help at this point.
Yeah. So I would rather do like a formal, like the intake and all that with you, and then do individual sessions where it's not all in front of everybody. With that said, I'm willing to do a group elemental reset. And one of the things the instructors, this is any layperson can take the elemental reset. The next one, and they do it regularly, is on February 26th. So affordable. And so you're going to learn 6 resets. You know, some of people know about Chinese medicine. There's 5 elements, right? Wood, fire, earth, metal, water, that kind of thing. The 6th one is all about stress mindset reset. And who doesn't need that?
Everyone needs that. There's no question.
So this class is amazing. Then the other amazing thing they do is every week, once you've done it, they have a half an hour review of one of the resets, and you do it with one of the instructors. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. So bodyintuitive.org if you want to look at that. And I'll just let's see, I've been studying this energy medicine for 20 years.
Wow.
I was a graphic designer. I could not have named and like 90%. So I'm really, this intuitive year-long program is just really like blowing my brain some days.
Phenomenal. Yeah, I bet it is. So when you work with people, you're obviously doing it long distance because you're not located in Louisville.
Right.
Although you're from here, right?
I'm from there, and I'm currently in Tucson, thus the tan.
Cool. Yeah, that's cool. Everybody wishes they were in Tucson today. It's beautiful there and raining here.
So my intention, I heard this years ago, and I love this, to set myself up for success.
Yeah.
I do the same thing with other people, set them up for success. And I knew being in gray, rainy, cold, damp Louisville and trying to do an online training program, I just want to curl up and take a nap.
That's what I just did, actually.
Yeah. So this is
about a 3-hour nap.
Yeah. And so this has been incredibly helpful for me in that respect. And I didn't know anybody here. I do not ever since, but not far into this learning and training. I literally say I left life as I knew it. Yes. And I say yes to intuitive things, and I go places that I knew nobody here, and my intuition was to go, and I just came and things fell into place.
That is pretty cool. It really is. Good for you for making that decision. And that's a tough thing to do too. It's hard to leave everything you know.
So that's one of the things that I feel like this work is about, resolving things and healing, but also I feel like when you have an allergy, let's just say an allergy or a pain, your life gets smaller.
Yes.
When you resolve that, your life gets bigger. You have more freedom, more all that. That's how I live a lot. If you ask my friends, They'll go, oh, she's out, in a good way.
I like it.
Yeah.
So when you're talking to folks, are you seeing people coming to you who are suffering from something that's a physical ailment that has just gone to the point where it's like there's nothing else to do? Are you kind of a last resort that people would call upon?
Unless
like
they
yoga
know about me,
is?
right? Unless they know about me already and they get me referred, like hopefully through this, there'll be a referral. But yes, it's often the last resort. People come and get shifts, get things happening. And even sometimes they come for something else because they can't imagine this other thing shifting. And they find, oh, that. And then I've been self-employed most of my life. I get some training. I'm off doing my own thing, creating my own workshops and everything. And life coaching seems to be something people are willing to go pay for and not have insurance pay for.
Yeah.
So I had this one client come in and buy like the 6-month package. And she was looking at a business she was trying to get going and started. And in this series of sessions, it's like her life took a completely other direction she hadn't planned on, because she got clearer, got the fears reduced, got the paradigms dissolved. And it's like her life just went completely another direction. And it happened incrementally enough that it wasn't that scary, right? Because it can be scary for some people, right?
Yes.
But it happened in a way that it happens incrementally. When in the work that I do is priority based. So you can come in with anything. Again, it's that individual medicine, whatever your body mind is ready to address and how it will come up, but not until.
I notice on your Body Intuitive, the bodyintuitive.org website, there's a free mini lecture series for everybody called the COVID Chronicles.
It's lovely.
Yeah.
It's yes. And again, they come from the Eastern and the Western perspectives and offer a lot of information that can be very helpful.
That's fantastic. I'm fascinated by this, and I want to encourage people to look at that website, Body Intuitive. And if you just go to, you can get your LinkedIn, Mollie Yunker, certified Body Intuitive. You're also called Mollie Lama, which I just love. You've got a ton of mentions on your own account, even without Body Intuitive, because you've been around, you've been doing a lot of work for a long time with Body Talk Works. And I love the fact that you reached out to me and very generously offered a resource that you didn't know whether or not I had, because, I'm a big believer in integrative medicine as well. I've got 3 dogs. We go to acupuncture every other week. They have had, chiropractic work. They've had underwater training work. You can see that I'm fighting for words right now because my word find is one of the things that's affected by COVID. We take Eastern medicines, we take Western medicines, and I'm the same way. I am totally all about alternative therapies to bring, the body together as a whole. And I've always loved the practice of yoga and, Tai Chi. So I appreciate the fact that you reached out and said, let me help you experience something, because it might make a big difference, because a lot of people forget that meditation and things like it are some of the things that are recommended by mental health professionals and people who are suffering with substance use disorder, people who are suffering with mental health. Meditation, calming of the brain, centering of the body, getting everything kind of into alignment. Those are all things that are recognized as extraordinarily helpful.
No question. So we could talk a little bit more, but I know you wanted to keep it brief. Are you ready to?
Yes.
Everybody enjoy an experience. So I'm going to do the metal element reset. Okay. And I'm going to have everybody do that with us. And to start, I just want everybody to take a moment and just if you're comfortable, closing your eyes and just taking a couple breaths, just doing a pause, finding your center. Okay. Now we're going to do a series of things 3 times. So I want you, do you know where your lungs and your large intestine, it's metal element, lungs and large intestine. If you put your hands there and you put your focus there and you breathe, And the focus is to turn on the 4 protective shields, the microbiome, the Wei Qi, the immune system, the skin, all of the shields. So we're turning that on, working that up. So then now we're going to do a series of 3 acupoints, and we're going to do it again 3 times. So about 2 or 3 fingers width. We're not needling, not a worry. It's on your left-hand side. We're going to tap. That's the lung 7 point, turning on the protections. Deep breaths. Okay, the next one is the sludge removal. We got backed up sludge, right? It's about 3/4 of the way down your shin. Let me lift my leg. It's about 3/4 of the way down the shin and on just on the outside. And again, you're not needling, so you just tap. Deep. This is your left leg. We're doing, these points are on bilateral, but we're going to do certain points. Okay, now on your right foot, we're going to go to the temperature. It's to help with the kidney too, and it's to help with temperature regulation. Can you see? So like you've got your arch, it's right in this area. Just tap in that area.
Okay.
And deep breaths. Okay. So now we're going to do that all again.
Quite soothing, actually.
Good.
You know, the tapping that you learn
EFT.
Yeah.
Yep. So now we're doing the lungs and large intestine again. We're just turning on the 4 protective shields. Deep breaths. Okay, we're going to do those points again. We're going to tap on the lung 7.
Mhm.
Okay,
On the
midway
left arm.
down your left leg, on the outside, the stomach 40. Sludge removal. And then on the right inside foot arch, temperature regulation. Good. And then we'll do that again. So the intention of turning on the protective shields.
Don't forget to breathe.
Yes. We're working at the Wei Qi level. This is your energy field, the skin, the microbiome, and the immune system. Okay, now we're going back to the lung 7 point on the left wrist area, just below, like a couple finger widths below. Again, not needling, but we're turning on those protective shields. Again, about halfway down the calf, a little on the outside. Sludge removal. Clear all the stuff in the brain and the digestive tract, the lungs. Okay, and then the right foot, working with the temperature, regulating that. Okay, so the next piece is about clearing the emotional aspects. And the metal element is all about grief. We've all had a lot of loss.
Yes,
it could be
we
loss
have.
of a person, a loss of a relationship, loss of an ideal, loss of 2 whole years.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
this process is something that came from an shamanic that they've integrated in, like they've integrated an older. So you're gonna like
I'm from the shamans, by the way, just so people know.
Shamans. Okay. So the actual thing you're going to be doing, I'm going to demonstrate that first, and then we'll go into the thing. You're going to start with your head over your right shoulder. Would it help if I go? Okay. So
Yeah, we'll do it this
your
way.
right shoulder, head over your right shoulder.
Okay.
Inhale as your head goes to the left, and exhale as it goes back to the right. You're just moving your head, not your whole body. You're just moving your head. Okay.
Got it.
And that's the inhale and the exhale. So with your head over your right shoulder, I want you to recollect something that's current for you, that's a grief and a loss. And then when you inhale, you call it all in. And then when you exhale, you let it go. But take a moment before you do it and just feel the level of stress around that grief and loss. Okay. Just feel that level of stress. So we do a count of between 1 and 10. Are you at an 8? Are you at a 9? Are you at a 10? Your grief and loss feeling. And then start with your head over your right shoulder. Feel those feelings. Inhale it. Recollect it. And then exhale all of it. All the feelings. So do that back and forth. Calling up those feelings, sadness, disappointment, sorrow, depression, and then letting it all go.
My friend Bee from New Mexico is watching, so I know she will appreciate this work too.
Good.
That's beautiful.
Okay, now you're going to activate what we call activate. So we're going to tap. Again, tapping. You have like 100 acupoints on the head. You're going to activate across the forehead, tapping, breathing, tap along the top of the head, and then down to the ears, and back up to the top of the head and down to the neck. We're getting all of this to activate and make it your body kick in on every level. Now, between the breasts, just below on the sternum, this is engaging the heart and the lungs at both the meridian and the organ level. Breathing. And then the navel area, on the navel and just above and below. This is engaging the digestive organs, the kidney, the reproductive organs, and the meridians. Deep breaths.
Free to join in with us if you guys are watching. This is really amazing.
And you could come back and do it later if you want to come back and
watch
repeat.
the live stream over again.
Okay, now when you're ready, just sit back and observe. I can feel a lot of tingling. That's a lot of energy moving. How you doing, Tara?
I do feel a lot of movement of energy, as you say, a shift. And one of the things that has been bothering me is that the COVID long haulers has instilled the same feelings of sadness, depression, and anxiety that I remember experiencing in 2013, which is a very scary thing. It translated itself in something called diurnal variation, where you wake up in the morning and you feel terrible, and you eventually gradually over the daytime start to feel more normal, or you wake up feeling great and then you just decompensate throughout the day.
Oh.
Mine was always waking up in tears, and sometimes it would last all day. And then as I started to heal, as I started to get better, it shortened. And so maybe by 2 o'clock, I was feeling a little bit better. And then it became like, if I could make it till 11. And then I've gone for years without any morning anxiety whatsoever. And suddenly I wake up in tears again. And that immediately triggers this thing in my head that says, oh my God, you're getting sick again, which is a terrifying thought. Now I know rationally that's not the case. I'm told over and over again, no, you're recovering from COVID. There's a big difference, and it has the same functional effect right here. So this work is very helpful to me, and it's stuff that I'm vaguely familiar with because it reminds me of other things, the tapping techniques, the breathing, the meditation, the yoga, but there's a little something different. You got a little something different happening there, Mollie Lama.
Thank you. And did you take a measurement of your stress level at the beginning?
I definitely released stress. I definitely felt like my body was letting go, and the visual is really amazing. This of taking in the breath and letting out the breath.
Yes, yes. And
very helpful.
It can happen really fast.
I'm going to do this in the morning.
That's lovely. You can repeat this, and we have more in that class. The next one is on the 26th, but they offer it maybe monthly. I don't even know. So yeah, I highly recommend. And again, they also include the stress mindset reset.
Yes. That's important. And so what we just accomplished was about 5 minutes maybe worth of work. And it's something that everybody could do every day. Yes. Sitting at their desk, sitting at the kitchen table, sitting in their chair, standing, looking out, being on the porch, whatever. It doesn't require special clothing. It doesn't require special equipment. It just requires a few moments of self-care. And I would put this in the category for sure of self-care, because that's one of the things that a lot of people, including myself, find very hard to effect, is taking time for self-care.
Literally, I was out doing my walk yesterday because I usually walk most every day, and I just did it as I was walking. And then I did stop when I tapped or did the head swing thing, the breath, the sweeping breath. It's called the sweeping breath. I did stop for that, but the rest of the time I'm just walking and doing it.
That's
So
pretty cool.
it didn't require a lot of anything other than its presence. It requires presence. I say
that's what-
requires, you will get more benefit the more present you are.
Well, that's what we don't do. We're very frequently in such go mode that we can't be present. And I have to stop and think about that all the time because, you know, my normal life, even through COVID, because of the work that I have done, has been extremely fast paced. So stopping to think about what's happening now, being mindful is something that I had forgotten a lot about. And as my friend Dee, who is watching, often reminds me, you know, mindfulness is smell the soap as you wash your hands, feel the water pouring down over them, you know, take a deep breath and listen to the sound of the cascading water falling into the sink, you know, being mindful, giving yourself a minute, literally giving yourself a minute.
It's one breath.
Yeah.
Maybe three. Yes.
Bodyintuitive.org is the website, you guys. I put it up there.
Yeah.
It's an odd time of day for most. A lot of people are back at work now, but the live stream will be there forever. It's shared to my other pages. We'd love you to sit back and watch it. It's only about maybe 25, 30 minutes long. And I think you'll enjoy it.
And bodytalkworks.net is still my website until I get Mollie Lama going.
Put that in there.
Bodytalkworks.net. Yeah. And it's .net, not .com. And, you know, there's testimonies, there's information about me if you're curious to get more information.
Sounds fantastic. I appreciate it very much. And you keep in touch with me and let's watch as you develop your business, because this is really cool. As you do this work and as you affect more people, it's really going to be cool to see what happens.
It is. And this year-long program, well, it's a school year. So like it'll end in June or July or something. And I've already been doing it for 20 years, but it's such a deep, more like expanded, I don't even know what word to use. Awesome. The word awe.
Bodytalkworks.com.
.net.
I just wanted to make sure that I got that right. .net. Okay. So I'm putting that in the comments, and that way you guys will be able to see the work that she's doing right now. And we'll hear more from you. Cause I would love to occasionally do another one of those little resets on camera to show people how just 5 minutes of breathing and that kind of movement is really effective.
I really thought I knew this was the one to do today intuitively, but I kept going stress mindset reset, so maybe next time that's what we'll do.
I love it.
Okay.
Perfect.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mollie. It was a delight talking with you. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of the day and that everybody who joined us today had just took a moment to be present and to learn something new. And so it's a great new tool. And thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you. Bye.